Hey there and welcome. In this explainer, we're going to build a super clear roadmap, a step-by-step guide to mastering what might just be the most powerful skill in language learning, listening. So let's jump right in.
This is the big goal for almost everyone, isn't it? To be able to speak English fluently, confidently, just naturally. But where does that journey actually begin? Well, the answer? It might not be what you think.
Yep, that's right. The real secret starts with listening. It's so easy to forget this, but amazing speaking skills, they don't just magically appear. Nope, they are built on this super solid foundation of listening. Seriously, the more you listen, the more English just starts to click in your brain.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll cover why listening is the foundation. Then we'll talk about active versus passive listening. After that, we'll build your media toolkit. Then we'll get into some awesome techniques, and finally, we'll wrap it all up in a super simple 30-minute daily routine. Okay, Section 1. Let's really dive into this idea. Why is listening the absolute foundation, the bedrock of learning a new language? Believe it or not, it's the very first step every single one of us took, even if we didn't know it at the time.
Just think about it for a second. How does a baby learn? They spend months, sometimes a whole year, just listening. They're soaking up all the sounds, the patterns, the rhythm of the language around them. They listen way before they even try to say their first word. Why? Because that's just how our brains are hardwired to learn language.
And you know what? Good listening skills have this incredible ripple effect. It's not just about hearing words. When you're really listening, you start to absorb the natural flow, the rhythm of English. You pick up new vocabulary in context, which is huge. You're training your ear for proper pronunciation. And all of this, it makes everything else, speaking, reading, even writing, so much easier.
Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you become a great listener? Well, it turns out you have two key strategies, two main tools in your toolbox. And understanding the difference between these two is absolutely critical. Think of passive listening as like a background soundtrack. You've got an English podcast on while you're cooking or driving. You're not stressing about understanding every single word. The goal is just exposure, letting your brain get comfortable with the sounds of English. But then you have active listening. This is your workout session. You sit down, you focus, and your main mission is to understand. You absolutely need both of these to make real progress.
All right, we've got our strategies. So, what should we actually listen to? Now, this is the really fun part. Because the best tools for the job are the things you already love.
Seriously, we're talking about movies, TV series you're binge-watching anyway, podcasts about your favorite hobbies, awesome YouTube channels, even music. The #1 rule here is to find stuff you genuinely enjoy. Because let's be real, motivation is everything. If you're listening to something you're actually into, it's not a chore, right? It's just fun.
Okay, so we know the what. Now let's get into the how. We're going to shift from just talking about it to some real practical techniques you can start using, like today.
First up, we have an incredibly powerful technique. It's called shadowing.
So, what is shadowing? It's actually pretty simple. You listen to a short sentence, and then you immediately repeat it out loud. The key is to try and copy everything. The pronunciation, the rhythm, the intonation. You're basically being an echo. And the magic here is that you're training your ears and your mouth at the exact same time. It's a 2-for-1 deal for your language skills.
All right, technique number 2. This one is an absolute game changer if you're listening to something that has a transcript, like a podcast or some YouTube videos. It's called the transcript method.
It's a simple 3-step process, but man, is it effective. Step 1, just listen. No text, see what you can pick up on your own. Step 2, listen to the exact same thing again, but this time read the transcript as you go. This is where your brain connects the sounds to the actual words. And finally, step 3, listen one last time, but without the text again. I'm telling you, you will be shocked at how much more you understand that third time around.
But let's be honest, it's not always easy, right? What happens when people talk way too fast? The key is, don't panic. Try to catch the main idea, not every single word. It's okay. And what about all the different accents out there? Just start with one that feels a little easier to you, and then slowly branch out. And slang. Oh, slang. TV shows, YouTube, that's where you'll learn all the informal stuff, especially with subtitles on. The most important thing to remember? These challenges are totally normal.
So, we've covered the why, the what, and the how. The last, and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, is putting it all together. How do we make this a real, consistent habit that you can actually stick with?
And look how simple this can be. We're talking just 30 minutes a day. That's it. Maybe 10 minutes of passive listening while you're making coffee or on your commute, then a solid 15 minutes of focused, active listening with a podcast or a video you like. And you wrap it all up with just 5 minutes of shadowing practice. It's totally doable.
Yep, just 30 minutes a day. It might not sound like a lot, but that small, consistent effort, that's the thing that creates massive improvement over time. It's all about consistency.
Because really, it all boils down to a pretty simple idea. The more English you hear, the more fluent you're going to become. Listening isn't some optional side quest. No, it's the engine that drives your fluency. The amount of English you put in your brain is directly linked to the quality of the English that eventually comes out.
All right, let's do a super quick recap. What are the key takeaways? Number 1, listening is your foundation. Period. 2, you got to use both active and passive listening. 3, pick media you actually enjoy. 4, practice with simple techniques like shadowing. And the most important one of all, 5, be consistent. That is the real secret sauce.
And that leads us to the last, and honestly the most important question of all. It's a question for you. Don't just nod along with this, go do it. Find a podcast, pull up a song, find a short video, and try this stuff out. Today, right now. Your journey to fluency literally starts the moment you press play. So, what are you going to listen to today?